Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets, with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Hi, everybody. It's Hanaconda, and welcome to What's Got to Do It. Oh my God. It is currently 10:30 in the morning, and for some people that's like normal. That's like you've been living a whole day. But for me, I am a night owl, and 10:30 in the morning for me is giving why. It's giving why am I awake? What are we doing? But I'll tell you why I'm awake, because I've got a beautiful guest, a drag queen from Brisbane, one of my good sisters, BeBe Gunn, is going to be joining us on the podcast today. And this human being is just such a gem. And there's not always do you come across some drag queens that are generous to a point, but queens like BeBe are very rare. The love, the generosity, the ability to make you smile, the empathy she has is so deep. And honestly, I've never really met anyone like her or who does it like her. And we really dive deep into her story and start to understand where that comes from. And she's a dream. I really just love this conversation, and I'm so excited for you to get to dive deep with BeBe Gunn, everybody. So we are going to be back after this little break, and we'll be joined by BeBe Gunn. All right, we'll see you right after this. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to What's Last Got to Do With It. And I'm so excited to welcome my beautiful guest all the way from Brisbane, because it is BeBe Gunn.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Oh, I am so good, my diva. I think you and I are both in the same space right now. This is very early in the morning for both of us. Not early for BeBe. BeBe was just saying she's an early riser.
Well, like, I'm an early riser in the same way that I'm on a diet. Like, it's not happening, but like sometimes I'm good about it.
You said you get up at 7 in the morning.
I get up at 7 in the morning because I need to go to the gym and look at the boys that go to the gym at 7 in the morning. And that is a real good, hard driving factor in my life currently that I know I won't care about in 2 weeks.
That's fair. I appreciate that. I respect that.
I'm just trying to be honest about it.
Yeah, you're a self-aware diva is exactly what we need in this world.
100%.
But welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
And for those of our listeners out there that aren't aware of the BeBe Gunn Spectacular, please tell us a bit about yourself, your journey. And obviously, behind BeBe is a lot of drag. So in case you haven't realized, she is a drag diva.
What?
I know, surprise. Well,
I'll go grab a wig and chuck it on real quick so they understand. So, yeah, my name is BeBe Gunn. I am the trash-talking Sambuca enthusiast of your dreams, all the way from Brisbane. I am having the best time of my life being a funky little lady of the evening. I've been doing drag under the name BeBe Gunn for 11 years now here in Brisbane. I've been touring around with different productions. I spent a lot of time doing a lot of fun drag brunches for the Ascot mums and their hens party compatriots for a fair while here in Brizzy. And now I am finally back home after being on tour for 15 months, and I get to talk to my own bed out there, which is fucking glorious. Being in a hotel room, lovely. Love the experience. Being in
that wears off.
Because it's in the right spot, and every pillow does a job. So I'm just happy to be back in my bed and back in my lovely little drag room, which is just the cupboard next to my bed.
I get you, bitch. Like, honestly, I tell you, it was always exciting when you go to a hotel and you're like, oh my God,
Oh, look at me.
I'm going to be like staying in a hotel. But that novelty really freaking wears off on tour.
Quickly, babe. You would understand it more than most people I talk to because you've been perpetually in motion for the last bloody 5 years.
Yeah, you and I have been living the same sort of experience. You're bouncing around from one hotel room to another. And to be honest, I'm not a fussy hotel. I don't mind. Like, a travel lodge, I'm fine with that.
It's
You know, Best Western, whatever.
We went to Broken Hill together and we stayed at a motel, and I thought it was quite nice.
Yes. Yeah, it was lovely.
I had two beds. I had the bed you slept in and the bed that you threw every. Yes.
What more
Those
can you
family
want?
style rooms.
That was a fun trip. Yeah, we did Broken Hill, didn't we?
Yeah.
That was
That was a
very
while
gay.
ago, babe. That was a while ago.
It was nearly 2 years, 3 years ago. 2 years
2.5, yeah.
Far out. Time flies. Jesus Christ. Broken Hill, everyone, is this gay little festival that happens in Broken Hill, where it's a city, it's a mining city. Because they called it a town once.
No.
You don't call it a town. They came for my throat. They were like furious. They're like, we're at it. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever.
Really sorry.
And so it's where Priscilla filmed its regional scenes, like the bar scenes and stuff like that, and the hotel with all the paintings on it. So that's all in Broken Hill. And they have now a festival there every year, and it's like a big drag.
Spectacular, really.
Yeah. Spectacular, a drag spectacular.
An outback spectacular, if you will.
Oh, but it was a very good time. We did that together a couple of years ago. And yeah, we were in the motel, the local motel.
Yeah. We had a lovely time in the motel. We just pulled all the chairs up into the corner of the sort of car park that our rooms opened up on and just all had a drink and a party, and no one went to bed till God knows when, and then we had to be up to do the bloody street parade.
Oh, that was brutal, wasn't it?
Baby.
I think we all did stay up way too late.
Oh, 100% we did. I think that's like the drag queen experience. So like, when have you met a sensible drag queen? I know everyone, sorry, no more drinks for me. I'm going to go home because I've got an early morning. Most of the time you just hear them go, I'm just going to keep the eyes on girl, crack another bottle.
You know, and then you go, if I get like just 20 minutes, I'll function.
Yep.
And you do it all the time. I do it all the time. I did it last night. Here we are.
I woke up early. I got my good little 20 minutes in. You went to bed late. You got your 20 minutes in. And look at us now.
Look at us now.
One podcast
Glowing.
on. Oh, can I?
Recording podcasts, being wise women of the world. Oh, but bitch, I tell you, well, I want to know, because you started up and sort of an initiative of raising money for people in all different, that was through COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like different little lockdowns we had. And admittedly, I will just say, I think the person that inspired me to do it was Lisa Mann, one of our lovely Melbourne sisters who's absolutely incredible, was doing something similar. And then what happened was I was on my way to brunch. I was fully painted, and our premier here in Queensland was like, hey, we've got new cases. We're shutting everything down from 3 o'clock. But we had already gone, set up brunch. We had a full sold out Saturday and Sunday, 180 people. It was huge. And when I got there, they were like, hey, we're not going to go ahead with this. We're going to send everyone home and no gigs for anyone this weekend. And I was like, oh, okay, there's a huge chunk of money out there for me that I'm missing out on. So I just started recording myself and saying, hey, everyone, like, this is what we're going through. This is what venues are going through. I know that sometimes the big venues that pay us, we see them as not the enemy because we're obviously all working together. We see them as people with money and people with all this expendable cash, whereas they were hurting as well. So I just documented all of it. And I had about 20 people message me and say, hey, let me send you some money for the money you lost this week. And I thought to myself, I don't really need that at the moment. I'm very blessed with, I'm just living with mum while I was on tour. And I thought to myself, maybe there's someone out there that could use the money. So that's where I started Pay Your Bills. And I started matching up artists in our community on Instagram that wanted to anonymously be paid the bills. And we just started chipping away. And in the first night, I was like, this isn't going to work. This is not going to work. No one's going to be like, oh, I'll pay that full car rego. And then the first person that I spoke to was like, yep, I've just paid 6 months of that car rego for that performer. Done.
That just melts my heart.
I cried, girl. I was an absolute mess sitting out in the kitchen, just like having a few chicken tendies and a diet-sized Sprite. I was having a full moment. I lost it.
Because I suppose that, especially at that time, but even now more so, it's so easy to lose faith in the world and faith in other people. But because you were the bridge in that situation between two people, and seeing firsthand people helping each other, like that must have restored your faith a little bit in humanity and go, there's some good people out there.
100%. I think that the people that are patrons of the arts are the people that like helped us. Like I did not get contacted by people with really high-powered jobs. I wasn't having lawyers and bankers and finance bros be like, how can I help these artists? It was all other artists, other creatives that were in more fortunate positions, or people that had known what it had been like to go through struggle or loss, or be the quote classic Aussie battlers or whatever you want to call it. Those are the people that stepped up. So I did it like over 9 different days. So I did 6 days to start with, and then I've done once-offs here and there just to help people out after COVID. And I think we totaled it up at $45,100 and something dollars.
That's amazing.
And that's all on the people that just chipped away little bits and little bits of bills. Like those, they weren't sending $500 at a time. Some people were like, hey, I could afford $20. And I would have to just keep a tally and deduct. And I'd not worked in the bank for a second, girl. So the quick math was doing me fucking head in. So I'm like trying to do everyone being like, what's 500 minus?
Work in a bank.
I did. I worked in the bank. Yeah. Girl, I lived a very full life before being a woman of the evening.
Bank? I just sold shoes at bloody Bets.
Yeah, no, girl, you could have come work with me. It was bloody fun with you in one of the Westfields here. And we were just able to go shopping in our lunch break and go pick up a new little drag costume from David Jones back when they stocked a bit more homosexual style clothing. And she was a lady on a budget.
Well, this is now, it just makes so much more sense now that you were able to facilitate this, the pay your bills experience, which is just such a beautiful thing that you got to do. And yes, again, a shout out as well to Lisa Mann, who did that in Melbourne as well. It was really lovely and heartwarming to see, because you both really just stepped up. I don't know, it just showcases your leadership and the way that you're just someone that we all look at to aspire to be like one day. And you know what? The fact that you don't think that, because I can tell you the way you do it, is the good thing. That's the best part.
I would like to think that I was a leader in our community, but I don't ever think that's up to me or anyone else.
Yeah, I think good leaders don't force the idea that they are leaders on other people. That's a good leader.
Yeah.
But do you where do you think you developed that sort of ability to have that level of empathy and does that come from your parents, from growing up? Is this just a natural experience? Are you just a good person naturally?
No, I'm a fucking nasty piece of shit. You've seen me on a microphone, girl. I think that my mother thinks it's biological. My mother thinks that she was tested when she was pregnant with me. Firstly, she was told she would never have children. So I've been her being great gifts from God, and she's a lovely supporter of our community that also has faith. So she's one of the good ones. And to be able to talk to her about why do you think this is why I am? And she said when she was pregnant, she had 250 times the hormone prolactin, which is the hormone that makes you be able to be empathetic to people, that releases in your brain when she had me. So I think I'm genetically predisposed to feel people's pain. And I think that I don't want my story to be one of being a victim or a victim of my own circumstance. I grew up very poor, grew up in council housing. My father left when I was younger and had an addiction to gambling, which he's worked very hard to overcome and change his own life. But it put us in a position that was difficult. When you're walking up to the house and you see all of your possessions being taken out by other people because there's a garage sale, it's not fun. So to be able to feel those feelings as a kid and wait for someone to save me, I will admit, as yucky as I feel it to sound, I want to save others. And that gets me in positions sometimes where I overextend myself and I do too much or care too much or burn myself out. And I'm so aware of that desire in me to just save people. And it's been a real balancing act, girl. It's been hard to try and weigh up where, help is needed and help is wanted are two very different things.
Yeah, because it's true. It drains your batteries in more ways than one. It's not just the surface level of helping people, because you start connecting with people. And then sometimes when people are in difficult situations, they can start overstepping as well and being like, okay, I want more, because do you know what I mean? And not because of being anything, but just they're a victim of circumstance as well.
Yeah.
And being I'm a Cancerian, I'm a full Cancerian, very empathetic, deep feeler. So I understand that, and the importance of putting up just a little bit of a shield to look after yourself.
Yes.
This episode of What's Lost Got to Do With It is proudly brought to you by our beautiful sponsors at BetterHelp. All right, my beautiful friends, let's talk numbers. I don't usually talk numbers because I'm a drag queen and drag queens and numbers don't usually go together. But when it comes to therapy, we need to crunch those numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session. Crazy. And it adds up so fast. But with BetterHelp online therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. Oh, anything for a saving these days, I tell you what. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big time on cost and on time. Therapy needs to feel accessible and needs to be accessible. It is not like a luxury. It is something that should be there for all of us when we get into difficult times. So with online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and it is so important that you put in that time. And now it's all within reach with BetterHelp. I am an advocate for therapy, and especially doing this podcast where we talk about such deep things. You know, sometimes the mental strain can be quite difficult, but being able to talk it out with my therapist always helps me and sort of relieves the stresses of our day-to-day life. And I feel clearer and feel happier and get to go through life being as gay and as fabulous as I can. And I want that for you. So, with 3,000... Cut that. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, serving over 5 million people globally. It's convenient too, and you can join a session with just the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, you can switch therapists at any time, which is amazing. So if one therapist doesn't fit, feel free to swap and find the right fit, because that is also incredibly important, that you have a therapist that works for you. So, my listeners of What's Lost Got to Do With It, your mental health journey can start now. So visit betterhelp.com/what'slost today to get 10% off your first month. That is better, H-E-L-P, betterhelp.com/what'slost. And you can get 10% off your first month with BetterHelp. Your mental health and your well-being is so worth it, my beautiful friends. So go and visit our beautiful friends at BetterHelp and get your therapy journey on the way. We love you and thank you, BetterHelp. Do you think have you managed to start doing that a little bit?
Yeah, I actually think I have, girl. Like, I think my boundaries even recently. Like, I think that as performers, a lot of times we have people trauma dump on us, and we constantly are faced with the person we just met that's like blah 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 and just dumps everything on us. And I think that's how I started having conversations with people, because it's all I was being approached with. So being able to step back and live a life of more solitude, comfort. Here I'm a performer, but I'm not going out as much. I'm not doing those things. I'm keeping a lot more to myself. I'm doing a lot more around the house, and being with my dogs has allowed me to step back from feeling like I've got to keep making other people happy.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
Putting that little bit of a distance between who Baden is and who BeBe is. It's probably something that I'm proud of, but it's hard, girl. Like fucking saying to people, oh no, sorry, I don't want to do this right now, is coming from someone who is empathetic. You'd understand. It's just it's not that easy to just be like, peace out, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way, bitch. I really do. Thank you for sharing your story as well, by the way, of growing up. Because I suppose as a kid, when you come home and you see all your things, that's a great loss as a child. And that feels, because we're so little, that's our whole world.
Yeah.
Being taken away from us. And obviously the show's about loss. Do you think that experience of having seen that, has that sort of separated you from the way you look at like material possessions and things like that, and how that works in your life? Because that's a massive loss as a kid.
Yeah.
And like, how did that feel, and how did that sort of shape you?
Well, specifically the time I was talking about was I'm really close to my grandmother, and we lived really close, and I used to stay over with her. She was taking me back to Dad's, because he had us on the weekends. He was having a sale and getting rid of everything so he could fund a ticket to leave back to America without telling us. So that's why all of our shit was being taken and sold. And we just saw kids walking out with like our teddy bears and shit. And we're walking past being like, hey, that's mine, trying to take it back from them, thinking people are stealing our stuff. To move on from that, my mother then married my father. who I would consider my dad, and he's in the army, and we moved every 3 years. So we weren't able to have possession. We weren't able to have things. So we had to set up a new house every 3 years. And then we did a move over to the UK where we were only allowed to take 40 square meters of possessions between all of us.
Wow.
Like, I've spent my life in suitcases and backpacks. And now being in Brisbane for 15 years, I've been able to put roots down, but it's still difficult for me to collect things. It's still difficult for me to feel like I can buy anything nice just to have it on display. Like, I'll buy a nice candle, but then I can throw it away at the end because I'm like, oh, what if I have to move tomorrow and I've got the extra candle to pack? Well, it's just framed how I don't feel very materialistic. And I feel like as a drag queen, when our whole personas are built around opulence and heaps of costumes and heaps of wigs and all this jewelry and everything, it's been even difficult for me to want to buy myself makeup products that I feel like I could use because it's just an extra thing that I've got that I just either have to pack on tour, which is terrible to do, or just have in general. It's just, I've never associated with the feeling of ownership over possessions. And maybe it does. Maybe bloody Dr. Phil over here has convinced me now, understanding that actually has a lot more to do with my childhood than I thought.
Look at me connecting the dots for you. Yeah, because I was thinking like that. I like as if there's moments in your adulthood and like when you move and whatever, and you like things, you lose things, and it feels different. But I remember as a kid, I experienced some things where like I'd lose something or I'd misplace something, and that even just small bits affected me so deeply because it was like we're so little and it's like our world, and so I can only imagine what that felt like, seeing all like the things that you had and then never being able to feel connected. And it's crazy as well that you ended up just throwing yourself into a life of touring as well.
Right. I feel like it's like I was conditioned for this moment. I was conditioned.
You're a
to
glutton for
back
punishment, bitch.
and run, you know, like it's those itchy feet that I think when you're a kid of the army and you're a kid that moved a lot, like I went to 5 different like high schools.
Wow. Wouldn't it? And that's hard to make friends. And
Actually, did I go to 5? No, hold on. Let me think. Maybe I didn't. No, I went to 3 high schools in 5. What it was.
Still a lot.
Yeah, so 3 high schools in 5 years. So I didn't I had to sacrifice getting a certificate of education because I didn't meet the requirements for the Queensland government to get one. So I only came back in year 12. So I don't even have a year 10 leaving certificate from the UK where I was. Then I went straight back into year 12. I went from year 10 to year 12 and I didn't have the 2 years of everything you need to even get the stuff that you need to go to uni. So I had local politicians help me to get into university and to have to go through this life of kind of service. I think even quite apropos that we're filming this the day after Anzac Day. We had a little public holiday yesterday and we celebrated the Anzacs, but the families of those people who served our country also suffer loss. Like I don't have the same career prospects as other people because I can't even prove that I really finished the education system in Australia. My favorite person that did 1 year of high school here. Okay, good luck. Have fun.
Like, thank God drag queens are not getting checked for theirs.
Girl, in fact, I picked the right career path.
Yeah, you really did. I think you're safe in this one, babes. But it's just, you fascinate me, and that story and the way you've grown up it's not the norm. But look at the human it's created at the other side. There's still things in your life that go on and you make me go, what the fuck? But you're a bloody gem of a human being, and I really just hope that you know that. You do make magic in this world.
But I can say the same fucking thing about you, bitch. Like, you're out here making people feel seen so often. Like, even for you to have me doing something like this, it shows that you're someone that not only I've known for forever.
Years now.
We go way back, but it's so beautiful that you're telling stories of people in our community. Like, I heard your podcast with Sexy Galaxy, who I absolutely love so desperately. And just to be able to tell stories like that and what you're doing is so important as well. So
Thank you.
So that's a full jerk now, everyone. We're just going to start kissing the camera.
I tell you, this was what I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other day, is that humanity is just a series of stories. We're all just stories. Yeah. And then like the way we communicate, we're sharing stories. Just saying hello to your friends and catching up about your day. You're sharing the story of your day. You know, and sometimes I feel like we forget that. But then also, I don't think we branch out enough of our own little bubbles to hear stories of people that we probably wouldn't usually be around. And that's why I like love doing this is that we get to share that stuff and realize that there's more to the surface level of each other than what we just see. You know what I mean? We all go very deep, and there's lots of things that make us the way we are.
I have that moment where I'm like walking through a fucking shopping center and I look at someone once and I'm like, your story, even just us in passing, is just as deep as mine and I'm never going to know about it. And it's so odd to me.
Wild.
I feel like a sociopath sometimes because I'm like, oh, no one else exists for that moment. And you're like, wait, no, everyone's having that moment. It's mind blowing sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, when you start thinking about humanity and the world in a real deep way.
Sometimes when I get like overwhelmed, I start thinking about the fact that like we're on a planet, the only planet that sustained life, and we chose to care about some of these things that we just made up. And then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not overwhelmed anymore. Everyone's going through things.
Yeah, they're all going through it, even if they're thinking like, and that's the thing that I like in our world now with like technology, like looking at like influencers and all these like rich people and famous people and stuff. I was like, you know what? Yes, they may be living some sort of life the way, but like they're still got things, they're still life. And I think it's sometimes a little bit dangerous that they only post that's the thing, because no one ever wants to look bad, so they're not going to go and post rough times. Plus, if they did, it would probably get annoying. But
no, but I get it, because like even with Pay Your Bills, people for the last 5 years have messaged me. I've probably gotten like 3 or 4 messages every month with these huge balls of text just begging. And whilst it's not, I don't want to class it as annoying, it definitely is draining to hear those stories over and over.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's this coming from a background of, you know, what people tell me is trauma and going through things, because I have never sat back and gone, oh no, my life was terrible. I just am living a life right now and trying to do the best I can with it. When we constantly tell those stories, it does get a little bit like, what are we gaining from it as well? Like having conversations and discussing it is great, but the thing I've learned more recently is to walk the walk and talk the talk instead of just discussing all the time.
Yeah, that's very true. I agree. Because, you know, that is the other thing as well. We are actions. We are stories, and actions make the stories.
Yeah, amen, girl.
It's cyclical.
Emotions are doing words. Emotions are doing words, and you've got to get out there and you can tell the story and how it made you feel. My grandma always used to say to me, love is a doing word. And like you can tell someone and you can tell the stories of the love 100 times, but you got to show the love as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, BeBe Gunn.
That's a good one for you, girl. There you go.
Huh?
That's a good one for you, girl. You can use that. Just credit my
put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, girl. Love is a doing word. I feel like it's the new live, laugh, love. We need to start like a little company.
Love is a doing word.
Things out like little placards to women between the age of 30 and 55 that like a Pinot Grigio and have 2.4 kids and a Nissan Pulsar. And a Camry car with a Labrador. Chuck that on a wall, Bethany.
Oh, I love it. I live. Well, BeBe Gunn, at the end of, because we're coming to the end of our time, I've been asking everyone, like you've shared so many different things in your experiences, but I've now been asking everyone, from all the things that you've experienced loss and all the different types of loss that you've experienced in your life, what is the thing that you've found from that loss? And do you have any advice for people that are going through tough times?
I think a lot of times to speak professionally about like our careers, I think a lot of times people look at the people that succeed and not the people that came second. And that's a product of our society. But I've never felt like a winner of anything that was judged by other people. I've always felt like a winner when I did what I wanted to do, regardless of what the outcome I wanted was. And I've done a lot of work here in Brisbane, and for years really wanted to win Drag Performer of the Year at the Queen's Ball, which is the longest running queer award ceremony in the whole world, started by the incredible Dame Sybil von Thorndike back when it was illegal to be gay in Queensland. And I wanted to be a part of that history. So for years, I thought, why isn't it me? What am I doing? Why am I still losing this? I'm getting nominated. I keep losing. And the first year that I didn't give a fuck and I did exactly what felt right to me was a year that I was recognized by people in my community. But every competition I enter, I still lose. I still come second. You know, much like you, girl. I get it. I get it. In every judged competition I've ever been in. But the second that it was just like something that was not in my hands at all, it felt like it all fell into place. So I think the thing that I've found is a trust in the fact that life finds a way. And I always liken it now to when you're sitting in the passenger seat driving and you both know the way to go, but they're going to take a different way. Are you going to say, hey, you take this turn right here before they even keep going? Or are you just going to trust the fact that this person is going to take you where you need to be? So I'm just trying to be the most graceful passenger I can right now. I don't want to drive the bus all the time. I just want to be able to get where I'm going.
That is glorious. That is advice for the ages. I think we all need to sometimes just sit back and give ourselves the time to replenish and just be a passenger, because it is tiresome driving all the time.
Maybe. Or
And
if you've constantly got to be in control, something's going wrong.
what a way to finish. Thank you, BeBe Gunn.
I got you, babe. Thank you for having me.
No, honestly, it's been a dream. And where can everyone go and find you? Where do you want me to send everybody?
You can, you know what? I would love to just say follow me on socials, because I'm sure that your audience is far wide reaching and they can find me at BeBe Gunn. But if you are able and you have the ability, come out and see some local drag, because not only will I try to blow your fucking socks off, the girls that I work with, the boys I work with, and the non-binary incredible trans artists that I work with are going to give you the show of a fucking lifetime. So my challenge to everyone watching is come see some damn local drag.
Yes.
Hopefully mine, but anywhere you are.
Yeah, you're always very much in safe hands at a BeBe Gunn experience. That is for sure. Well, yeah, make sure you go and follow BeBe, send her all of the love, and go out and see all local drag, but go and see a BeBe Gunn show. Treat yourself. Trust
Damn
and
it, right.
believe. But BeBe, thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. And this, I'm going to go out and do some loving, doing some doing.
Yes.
Love is a doing word.
Love
Yeah.
is a doing word, baby.
But I love you, and you have
Love
the
you.
most spectacular day, and I'll see you soon. Love you.
Love
And
you.
we'll be back after this. Thank you so much to BeBe Gunn for joining us on this episode. That was an absolute joy and a thrill to chat to BeBe. I thank you, BeBe, for sharing your story. I did not know a lot about your experiences growing up and your childhood, and I just really appreciate you being so open and honest and vulnerable, and so many words and of wisdom and nuggets that we can all take away. And I really do hope that BeBe has come into your heart, and make sure you go and follow BeBe and get out there and support local drag. It's so important, especially in this time. I'd love to, see more people out there in the venues supporting the divas, because it's getting scary, kids. Sometimes it's getting scary. But again, thank you, BeBe, for being so open and warm. Oh my God, I feel so like, especially at this hour of the morning, like I said at the start of the episode. I'm never usually awake at this point. I have to be honest, I forgot to put out a message on the Instagram to find people that need advice and healing, and that's on me. That was me. I did that. I forgot. And you know what? I actually think after BeBe's sound advice today of sometimes you just need to be a passenger, Mama is passengering. She is having a little bit of I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. I feel like sometimes I teeter on the edge of burnout, and I get nervous sometimes that I don't check in with myself enough. So this is my healing hand segment for today. This is another sort of a general one, and I'm giving advice to myself as much as I'm giving advice to you. And I'm really hoping that because I'm recording this, I will take the advice, because I do struggle taking my own advice. I like giving out advice, and I think I do good at it, but I do think I struggle taking it. But I'm going to say we all do need to make sure that in the fast pace that we're in, the way that online media and social media makes you consume things so quickly, that sometimes I think we are gluttonous and we consume so much so quickly that we actually don't take time to sit and actually take in the things that we are experiencing. I am encouraging myself and you all out there to do a bit more mindfulness, to slow down in the race of life, to relax and to take in the things that you're doing. And maybe like when you know you're going really quickly and things are happening a lot and you're really busy and whatever, just check yourself and just go, hey, let's look around, take this in, because these moments don't happen all the time. Like you'll live, like each moment is done. You're on to the next thing. That's how life works. Sometimes you need to just go, wow, I'm never going to be in this spot doing this thing ever again. And I think it helps you to be grateful. And I've been trying to do that a little bit more. I have really just tried to settle in and go, wow, okay, I'm really lucky. I'm doing good. I'm okay. This is amazing. I'm happy, it's all brilliant. And I check myself and I tell you, it does make a difference in making you feel a little bit more connected to life and making you feel like the things that we do, it's not just throwaway living, it's meaningful living. So that's my advice, my healing for you all out there. Get into some meaningful living, my beautiful friends. But yes, that's all my thoughts for today. So I am going to leave you now. And I'm going to go and do some meaningful living, and I hope you do too. Thank you for sharing your time with me and being back here at the podcast again. It means the world to me, and I say it every episode, but I'm just very grateful, and thank you for listening. And we'll be back with another episode of What's Got to Do With It very soon. But for now, look after yourself, be safe, stay fabulous. My name's Hannah Conda, and I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.